When we think of the Second World War German war machine, the mind usually goes straight to heavily engineered steel. Tiger tanks tearing across the steppe, or Stuka dive bombers screaming out of the clouds. We imagine an industrial powerhouse churning out mechanically flawless weapons. For the individual soldier, the NP-40 submachine gun provided the most recognizable silhouette of the Axis war machine. It was the ubiquitous symbol of German infantry power. But the soldiers who actually carried it into combat, specifically elite formations like the Waffen-SS and the airborne Fallschirmjäger, were highly critical of it. They actively scavenged the battlefield looking for a replacement. What they coveted most was this, the Italian-made Moschetto Automatico. Beretta Model 1938. We have to ask what specific mechanical flaws in the MP-40 drove the most hardened German troops to put aside their own standard equipment for an Italian design. Most standard submachine guns of the era were rough, mass-produced tools. The British Sten, for example, was stamped together so crudely that a simple impact could send the bolt flying forward, discharging a round directly into the back of a friendly soldier. The German MP-40 had its own engineering flaws. It suffered from a front-heavy balance, a fragile single-feed magazine that invited jams, and a thin, folding metal stock that often wobbled against the shooter's shoulder. When the weapon fired, the muzzle climbed upward. At medium ranges, it became difficult to keep the bursts on target. The Beretta MAB-38 addressed these issues physically. A solid wooden stock absorbed recoil, and a high-capacity 40-round magazine kept the weapon's weight balanced. It also featured a dual trigger system, one for single shots, one for full auto, eliminating the need for a separate selector switch. These physical mechanics provided a stable platform, but the ballistic performance of the Italian ammunition is what allowed the Beretta to outperform its peers. The MAB-38 achieved this performance through a specialized high-pressure cartridge, the Cartuccia 9mm Model 38. Comparing 9mm loads, standard rounds traveled at 350 meters per second, while the Italian high-pressure cartridge reached 429. This increased velocity created a flatter trajectory, remaining effective out to 200 meters, a distance where standard submachine gunfire typically scattered or dropped off. To see how that range translated to the battlefield, look at the German airborne assault on Crete in May 1941. Because of their parachute harness design, German paratroopers had to jump with only a gravity knife and a pistol. Their primary weapons were dropped in separate canisters, meaning they had to locate and unpack their firepower while under fire on a rocky landscape. One airborne officer, Captain Dieter Linz, went out of his way to pack a traded-for Beretta into his personal drop canister. He knew the standard German MP-40 lacked the reach required to hold off entrenched defenders as he established his position. For the German paratrooper, the Beretta's reliability and reach filled the critical gap between landing and launching a successful assault. In September 1943, following the Italian armistice, Nazi Germany launched Operation Ochse to occupy northern Italy. German troops moved in and seized the primary Beretta manufacturing plant in Gardone, Val Trompia. Instead of looting the factory, or retooling it for German designs, the military command integrated the Italian gun directly into their central procurement network. This visualization displays the scale of that industrial shift. Under German administration, the factory produced over 230,000 Beretta submachine guns, specifically for Wehrmacht use. These weapons were prioritized and distributed to elite formations on the front lines, serving as primary combat implements through the final months of the war. Historical legacies are often built on propaganda, but the Beretta's reputation was forged by the soldiers who, given a choice, put their standard equipment aside to carry it.